I've played XDefiant for over an entire work week now, and 2 of the betas. I've completed the battle pass, and I am ready to give you a full review of what I think of the game. I'll start off by saying, first of all, I like this game, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to have criticisms of it. Second of all, this game is free to play, and one of the best ways for you to judge if the game is right for you is to just download and play it. When the game released, there were a lot of issues with matchmaking. Most people couldn't find a match, there were some DCs and other typical day of the release problems, but it cleared up fairly quickly. There were also some hit registration issues, which I believe have been resolved, but overall it was a pretty successful launch. So let's start off by talking about the guns. All of the guns are familiar platforms such as the AK, the M4, the M16, double barrel shotgun, Mosin Nagant, MP7, etc. They're mostly based on real guns, and chances are if you've played any first-person shooter, you're somewhat familiar with how these perform. The actual meta of the guns is where things get switched up a little bit. For example, the M4 is somewhat underwhelming compared to the ACR and AK-47. I personally suspect they didn't want the M4 to be the default gun, but that's just speculation. There's a solid handful of guns to keep you busy, with room for more in the future. The customization is good, but a little boring. The attachment options are very similar on all guns, however you are able to dial in guns specifically for your own preferences or meta chasing. You get about 7 slots per gun and are allotted 5 mods, so you will have to make some hard choices sometimes. There's a good handful of skins in the game already, from Twitch drops, playing the beta, battle pass, both free and paid. There are no weapon charms. Frankly, I really like weapon charms. It's a fun way for devs to express some creativity, and being able to hang an object on your gun is a cool way to customize it. Additionally, there is no weapon inspect feature, and there's also no way to mount your gun on any surfaces, nor a select fire option, all of which would have been nice to have. The progression of each gun is pretty slow, but there's already been several 2x weapon XP weekends, as well as tokens to boost progress. Each gun has gun mastery, starting with bronze at level 50, which gives you a bronze weapon skin, then silver at 75, and gold at 100. I think this gives you something to work on and show off, not to mention you can get a decent looking skin on every gun just by leveling it up. I really appreciate this feature, to be honest. It gives players a lot to do, and having bronze and silver as an option is great. I personally think aesthetically, silver is better than gold. The movement feels pretty good. A lot of people have claimed it feels clunky, and at times I would agree. However, once you play the game for a while, it basically goes away. I think the clunkiness is simply a result of the game feeling different than other shooters. Overall, I think the movement is functioning well. There are issues with bunny hopping that may be addressed. There is no prone, and there may be a good reason they did this, but I think I would have liked it. Sliding is a feature in this game and feels fine, maybe not as rewarding as some other games. The maps are probably one of the best parts of this game. All of the maps are creative, unique, and just plain fun. Chances are you will see a new detail every time you play. They're well designed with solid lanes for the most part, not too confusing, and have fun themes. They all have plenty of Easter eggs and fun tidbits, and you can tell the devs had fun and got creative with them. My only complaint would be maybe there needs to be more, which I look forward to in future updates. The abilities and characters are pretty solid, but also maybe a little lackluster. There are 5 factions, with 2 abilities each that you could choose from every match. You have tanks, rogues, healers, hackers, and fire guys. For the most part, the abilities are pretty well balanced actually. There are a few that are more annoying than others. Looking at you, Firebomb. There's also a unique ultimate ability for each faction. Most of them are pretty effective and fun to use. The Cleaners and Libertad are kind of boring. They're just bigger versions of one of their abilities. Ultimates gain progress a little too slowly, so you might only get them a few times a match. Some people have mentioned that XDefiant needs kill streaks. The reason that people feel the need for kill streaks is because the ultimates take a very long time to build, and people forget that they exist. Outside of that, you also have your class's abilities, which take the place of minor kill streaks and equipment. You only get 1 grenade. Adding more to that would make this game incredibly annoying. I specifically remember going from COD 4 to Modern Warfare 2 and how goddamn annoying the kill streaks got. Every life it felt like you got insta-killed by a Predator missile. I think almost all of the abilities in XDefiant are pretty good, and you can find something that matches your playstyle. I hope they tweak the ultimates and make them charge slightly faster in the future. Honestly, the characters themselves don't have much character. Most of the abilities in the characters aren't really that compelling or interesting. In a first-person shooter, it doesn't really matter, but I almost feel like I can't even find a character that I actually give a shit to play. The characters don't have unique abilities, so it's not much more than a skin, which feels especially silly given that you have to unlock certain characters with some pretty tedious challenges. This leads to the customization. You can get some skins for various characters and change their appearance, but honestly it's hard to really care. Some of the skins in the Battle Pass are pretty cool and there's plenty of room for them to make neat skins. One unique feature of this game is emojis. You can do a react emoji to getting killed, which is kind of a fun idea. XDefiant is offering different versions of various emojis as customizations, which is a cool little feature, but I can't help most people aren't going to care much about it. The monetization of this game is not too crazy. Some of the store skins are not horribly designed, but I haven't really seen anything particularly mind-blowing and creative. The MDR Battle Pass skin is probably the best example of something cool. The Cold Steel Desert Eagle skin is awesome and changes the appearance of the gun despite attachments, which I really love because the suppressor is good on the Deagle, but it looks really stupid. So skins that completely mask the appearance of guns is something that exists already. Additionally, there is a handful of free stuff in the Battle Pass that you can unlock, which also includes the first gun release, the MDR. For me, the Battle Pass was worth getting the DedSec faction, the Deagle reskin, and the MDR skin, plus some XP boosters. I also wanted to support the game, but the Battle Pass is pretty skimpy, I must say. Ultimately, with most of these games, paying money is your choice and you have to make the decision whether or not the price of these digital items is worth it for you. This game is a fast-paced arena shooter reminiscent of early COD games like COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2. In some areas, the game does feel perhaps a bit dated, but that's part of why I personally like it so much. This game brings me back to a simpler time of just running and gunning. I've grown to dislike battle royales and generally think the pacing is pretty boring. Although this fast pace can get frustrating, it's the type of shooter I grew up with and I think I prefer. I think XDefiant offers a more classic feeling shooter, but one that offers more modern features, carefully chosen for a specific effect. One significant choice is no skill-based matchmaking, which is a controversial topic. Some like it, some don't. Basically, it means that every lobby you go into, you're grouped with just about anyone. This means you can get matched up with people far above or far below your own skill level. Some people say it's fun without skill-based matchmaking because you can pub stomp. Others say that skill-based matchmaking makes every game feel sweatier and feel like you're playing ranked anyway. I am personally a very average skill player and I think it's fine. Surprisingly balanced, I may dare to say. I haven't ran into many glitches or cheaters. I have seen one video of someone falling through the map. Unfortunately, last night I ran into my first hacker. I simply reported them and left, but overall I rarely run into any game-breaking problems, though the game has crashed and disconnected a few times, but my internet may be part of the problem. Is this game the COD killer that people were thinking it would be? I mean, not really. As someone said, the only thing that can kill Call of Duty is itself, and they're working on it. But for me, it's a suitable replacement. This game will be my main shooter next to Overwatch now for a multitude of reasons. The main point is, XDefiant plays like what I remember Call of Duty felt like. Many people have moved on to BRs and extraction type shooters, but they're just too slow for me. And Call of Duty specifically just doesn't feel like the game that I remember. Plus, this is a new title, a new game, a new franchise, sort of, and has a chance to carve out its own path. XDefiant tickles a fancy I have for sure, and I think it's a really solid shooter. The main thing that really excites me about this game is how receptive the developers and Mark Rubin have been. On release, they were very attentive and responsive on Twitter, and they're already working on implementing things people have asked for. There's already been an extra weapon added in Season 1 available for free, and many fixes made based on player feedback. It gives me hope for the future of this game, and I think it's quite possible they add quite a lot of things people wished were in it. I think the biggest challenge for this game will be providing something new and fresh that really captivates people. Because this game has been compared with Call of Duty so much, people expect all the good things from that franchise, while also expecting it to be independent and new. Frankly, XDefiant doesn't do a whole lot that's incredibly innovative. Video games are competing for people's time these days. Practically all shooters are offered for free, and now I'm really not sure how the future of this game will be, but I will be playing it and using it to replace many shooters for a while. As with any free game, I will end it by saying I think you should give the game a shot and decide for yourself if you want to keep playing it. Even after playing 50 hours of this game, I'm still pretty excited about it, and I look forward to the future of this game, and I hope other people can find the same joy out of it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you liked it, leave a like, leave a comment. I want to hear what you have to say about this game, and don't forget to subscribe for more gaming videos. I will see you later, gamers.